Hello everyone. 2 days back, a paper was released which is titled A Real World Test of Artificial Intelligence Infiltration of a University Exam System. When I read this paper, I was really shocked to see that the assignment structure and the exam structure in the world is completely changing because of artificial intelligence. When I read this paper, I very seriously thought that in 5 years, the way assignments are given to the students and the way assignments are graded, the way homeworks or homework problems are graded is completely going to change. And then I thought of making a video on it to explain my learnings, to explain this paper itself, and to explain how I think assignments are going to change as we move forward. So let's get started with the video. My name is Dr. Raj Dandekar. I graduated from IIT Madras in 2017 and completed my PhD from Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 2022 in the field of artificial intelligence. So, this paper as a whole is very simple. What these authors have done is that they have partnered or rather focused on a specific university in the UK, and they have generated some assignment solutions using AI or ChatGPT and compared the grades received on those submissions with the normal submissions which have been written without the use of ChatGPT. So, for example, let me directly jump to the first table, which is the most important one. If you look at this table right here, what these authors have done is that they have divided the question papers into five modules: P1 M1, P1 M2, P2 M1, P2 M2, and P3 M1. In each module, there are real submissions which are not generated by AI, and there are some artificial intelligence submissions. Now, these AI submissions were generated by the authors themselves, and no one knew which submissions are real and which submissions are AI. So all of the submissions were given to the evaluator without knowing which one of it was AI and which one was real. So here I have written a pictorial representation of the way the study was done. It was divided into five modules: Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, and Module number 5. In each module, you will see that this small portion or a small number of submissions were AI, approximately 5% of AI submissions. And then this entire module was given for grading, and the examiner did not know which of the submission was human generated and which of the submission was AI. In the paper, the authors also mentioned the prompts which they gave to ChatGPT to generate the answers, such as for essay based answers, the prompt was including references to academic literature, write a 2000 word essay. And the authors explicitly say that they did not make any attempt to make the ChatGPT answer sound like human. So it was clearly written by ChatGPT and then given to the examiner, and then the examiner had no knowledge which one was real and which one was ChatGPT. I hope you are following with me until this point, because the results will completely blow your mind. What happened after this part was that then slowly the grades were released, and it was really shocking to see that the AI generated submissions consistently received a much higher grade than the normal submissions. So, if you look at this particular plot, it actually sums up this entire paper in one plot. So, let's look at these first two bar plots here. They belong to the first module, P1 M1. So the median grade for the real answers which were not AI generated is shown by the yellow bar, and the grade for the AI generated answers is shown in the blue bar. You can clearly see that the blue bar is higher than the yellow bar, which means that the AI generated answers consistently received a higher grade. You can see this trend for all the modules. In almost all the modules except for this module 5, you will see that the blue bar grade is higher than the yellow bar. The blue bar is higher than the yellow bar. This clearly says that the AI generated uh, submissions were scored much more than the normal submissions or human generated responses. This is illustrated in this plot over here. Here we can see grades for module 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you can see, For AI generated, which is the yellow bar, it is consistently higher than the not AI generated, which is the green bar over here. So your question would be that how is this possible? Couldn't the examiners understand which submissions were AI and which were not AI? And here lies the second main result of the paper. It was very difficult for examiners to understand which submissions were generated by chat gpt and which were not. In fact, it turns out that less than 10% of the submissions were flagged as AI. Let's look at another very interesting result from this paper. And I want to show you this result first in the format of a table and then in the format of a graph. So let's look at the first module. So you can see that the percentage of submissions which are flagged as AI is 6%. In the second module, it is 12.5% over here, right? And overall, the percentage of submissions which were flagged as AI was just about 6%. And this is also illustrated in this graph over here. If you look at this graph closely and look at the yellow bar here, it shows the percentage flagged as AI. So for the first module, you can see the yellow bar is so less compared to the blue bar, right? It was very difficult for the examiners to understand which is AI and which is not AI. It was virtually almost impossible. So the examiners thought all the submissions were written by humans and they graded the AI submissions on a much higher scale. When I read these results of the paper, I was extremely shocked. Imagine a student who is given an assignment, the student goes back home, the student just uses ChatGPT, finishes the assignment in 5 seconds, and then submits it. Not only that, what if this particular student is now the highest ranking in the assignment? If the examiner or the teacher does not recognize the AI submission, what if this student receives the highest grade? Then what is the purpose of assignments anymore? The main purpose of homework or assignment is to make the students practice to test their understanding. But if students are using ChatGPT itself, it's virtually impossible to detect which text is generated by ChatGPT and which is not. So one of my main takeaways from this paper was that it's really very difficult to separate AI submissions versus non-AI submissions. And then I started exploring some tools. For example, there is a famous tool called Turnitin. And if you look at this tool, Turnitin is a plagiarism detector. So it turns out that Turnitin can detect whether the student has copied from somewhere, etc. But as I read further, I discovered that even Turnitin is not very good in understanding which responses are generated by ChatGPT and which are not. Right now, as we proceed with the inventions in ChatGPT, it's very difficult to have a plagiarism detector or a ChatGPT detector. No one has 100% uh, rate of detecting AI generated data versus human generated data. And this problem is going to get even worse because ChatGPT, now GPT-5 will come. The LLMs will keep getting better and better and better, and they will start sounding more and more and more like humans. So then I was thinking, what can be the better way to give assignments, right? And I think that the best way to give assignments is to not be afraid of AI or to think that students will use AI, Chat GPT. We should assume that everyone is going to use Chat GPT anyways, and then construct assignments which openly say that you use Chat GPT, but we can build on top of that to add some creativity. So then the new world or the new education system should be based on the fact that students will use large language models, but we have to now train them to efficiently use these models and to use their creativity on top of it. This is what happened with drafters and computer aided design, right? Drafters were replaced with computer aided design, and that did not mean that jobs were taken or the creativity was lost. It's just that students or engineers who understood computer aided design better, they got more jobs because their skills were more relevant. Similarly, students who know how to use chat gpt correctly and apply their creativity on top of it will be ready for the modern world. So I think that this should be a new way to give assignments. Whenever we think of assignments, we should have two components. We should have an AI component and we should have a creative component. So when we look at an AI component of an assignment, so let's say the assignment starts like use chat gpt to generate a 300 word essay on world war II. So because if we tell students to generate an essay, they are anyway going to use ChatGPT. So let's start with this, but let's add another creative component to this assignment. Let's say that now use the essay provided by ChatGPT, put yourself in the shoes of the World War II soldier, and imagine your day, and then compare your current day at school versus your day as a soldier. Now you see what I have done over here. Here we are adding some personal things in the life of the student, right? We are asking them to compare their current day at the school versus what their day would have been if they were a soldier. So this they cannot ask chat gpt, because chat gpt does not know the personal history of the student, what the student likes, what the student dislikes. So there comes in the creativity of the student, right? So we ask them to do the first part using chat gpt, but we tell them to do the second part yourself. This second part is going to be the main key when we generate assignments in the next 5 years or next 10 years in school. This second part, the way we add the creative component in the assignments, is going to be the key. I have already demonstrated one thing here, but many students might say that here also students can use chat gpt. So we need to make the second part of this more um, fun and with a lot more thought, because if we make it personalized for the students, they cannot use chat gpt, because chat gpt does not know how they have lived their life for 9 years or 10 years. That's the information it can never have, uh, as much as how much the student has, and we need to leverage that to construct assignments. So I believe that we need to be better in making assignments. We need to assume that students are going to use llms or chat gpt, and then construct assignments on top of that. That's going to be the challenge for teachers, that's going to be the challenge for schools. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. If you have any comments on this, or if you have any other solutions about what's happening to assignments and how should we give assignments to students in modern schools and education systems, I would be very happy to discuss in the comment section. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.